The homeless population in Los Angeles County recently soared 23% over just the last year.
4,000 homeless just blocks from City Hall. Unfortunately, that is just a small percentage of the city's homeless population.
According to the LA Times, the startling jump has touched every significant group, including youth, families, veterans, and the chronically homeless. In 2015, Elvis Summers, once homeless himself, started tackling the problem, one tiny house at a time. It all started after he became friends with a woman named Irene McGee, better known as Smokey.
It was really hard. You know, people talk crazy to you. Kids is mean to you. You know, talk about you. Look at that old woman pushing a basket.
She had been homeless for 10 years following the loss of her husband.
One day I was just like, you know, like, Smokey, I know you said you live down the street, but where? You know, exactly. And so I made her walk me down there and show me, and it was one of the houses down the street. It's like a strip of dirt next to the house and a broken chair. And she was like, I sleep over there. And I'm like, well, you know, where over there? And it's right by that chair. And I'm just, you know, it just got to me.
That moved Summers to build Smokey a place she could call home, a tiny home.
I just asked her, I said, you know, how would you feel if I built you a little mini house? And I love her response, you know, she said, when's it gonna be ready? Went to Home Depot and bought $500 worth of wood and threw it on the ground and went, okay, let's build a little teeny house.
It took 5 days to build a 3.5 by 8 foot house. Video of his helpful construction went viral. Since then, Summers has raised more than $100,000 to build more of these houses for people in his community. Each of these homes has an actual address listed on them, giving those who live here a sense of ownership and security.
That's what people want, you know, just a place to rest their head. So, you know, I put an address on there to, you know, mentally help that lift.
CBN News was there when Summers presented this homeless man with a place to call his own.
This house right here is yours. Why don't you come and take a look? I even got some, you know, put some Marine flags in it for you since you're a Marine. And if someone opens the window...
Oh, man, I love it. Oh, I love it.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I love it. That's cool.
Some local governments around the country are also using this method to help their homeless, from Chicago to Portland, Oregon, where the idea has grown to tiny house villages. But now back in LA, officials see the small houses as nuisances, with some saying they pose health and safety risks. These wooden shacks are not the real estate I'm looking for in my district, said Councilman Joe Bascano. Councilman Curran Price said, I'm getting complaints from constituents who have to walk in the streets to avoid them. Earlier this year, the city council moved to seize the homes without prior notice. Summers captured this video as 3 houses were confiscated. He managed to move 8 of them to Faith Community Church, but the people who lived in them were once again on the street.
It was like watching Linus and the Peanuts, you know, like drag the blanket away. It was heartbreaking. It was one of the worst days.
Tim Chambers pastors Faith Community.
It hurts my heart how the city has been taking the homes from the homeless and wanting to destroy them if they didn't have somewhere else to put them. Elvis is, and I am too, trying to see if we can get some property somewhere to be able to set these homes up and set up a homeless encampment, to be able to allow them to have a place.
After months of backlash and media attention, the city is developing a process to work with nonprofit groups, including Summers, to help those living on the streets. Meanwhile, Smokey recently passed away.
She was a wonderful human being. She was my friend.
Her memory, says Summers, motivates him to help others.
I can't just go and change the whole world, but I can do my best to change the world around me. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I hope that, you know, in the process, it inspires other people, you know, to just take a second, you know, and be better.
Charlene Aaron, CBN News, Compton, California.